Welcome to Udaan Analytics. So, if you are a fresher or someone trying to start your career in tech and you are confused about data engineering, what skills you need, what jobs to apply for, what projects to make, then today's video is your complete roadmap. By the end, you will exactly know how to become a data engineer in 2026, what steps to follow, how to prepare for interviews, how to stand out even if you are a complete beginner. So let's get started. So first, what exactly is data engineering? So data engineering is the field that builds the data pipeline system and infrastructure that companies use to store, clean and process data. So whenever you see dashboards, machine learning models, business reports, fraud detection, recommendation systems, remember, a data engineer made that data possible. So why is data engineering is such a big deal? So now every company is becoming data driven. So it's in very high demand. They need clean, reliable, and structured data. They need pipelines that run every minute or every hour. They need systems that handle millions of records. That is why companies need big data engineers. They also provide strong salaries to data engineer. This field is growing fast, salaries are solid, and it's one of the most future-proof tech careers. So let's move forward. What are the basic skills required for data engineering? Let's start with number one skill, SQL, structured query language. You must know joins, group by, window functions, subqueries, query optimization. In Python, you should focus on data manipulation, on pandas, numpy, writing script, reading and writing file, handling APIs. In databases, you should know relational database. There are mainly two relational database, PostgreSQL and MySQL. There are other as well. Indexing, partitioning, normalization basics. Then in data modeling, you should know how to create diagrammatic data flows, hierarchical data, network data model, and other things. And in cloud basics, you should have a small foundational knowledge of AWS, for example, Lambda function, S3 bucket, Glue jobs. Let's move forward to data warehousing and pipelines. So, data warehousing is one of the super important topic, and this is where real job interview questions come from. You must understand what is star schema, fact tables, dimension table, slowly changing dimension, OLAP and OLTP. In batch and real-time pipelines, you should know the difference between ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform, load. ELT, extract, load, and then transform. And batch line pipelines, streaming basics. And you should understand how the data flows from sources, then where it lands, then we read the data to process, then we store the final output data in a warehouse, and then we use the data for analytics. So you should have complete knowledge of how the data is flowing through these from source to analytics. As a fresher, a basic understanding of these is enough. Also, like there are some other tools as well, like Airflow, Spark, and Redshift or Snowflake. You don't need mastery, just conceptual clarity. Now, let's move to entry level job roles. So, here are the good part. What jobs can you apply for as a fresher? So, you should target junior data engineer, ETL developer, data engineer intern, SQL developer, cloud associate, BI developer, and data analyst. And where to find these jobs? Here are some reliable portals. You can apply from LinkedIn, Indeed India, Naukri.com. For startup, there is a site Well Found, and some of the startups are hiring very fast. You can connect uh, using Hirect app. Then there are company portals, like for each company we have several portals like Accenture, Deloitte, Infosys, TCS, Wipro. So you can apply 30 to 40 relevant jobs per week easily if you follow this list. Now let's move to portfolio project. So as a fresher, your project matter more than your degree. You just need to understand this point. You should have a quality projects. So uh, here are what I feel three must-have data engineering project. First is end-to-end data pipeline project. For example, you are using API to pull the data from any source. Then there is some landing zone, like where the data is stored. Then you are apply some transformation on the data. Then you are loading the data into a warehouse. This is an example of very simple end-to-end data pipeline. You need to build some project like this, and you can uh, you can check on GitHub as well. Like there are very simple end-to-end project you will easily found in the GitHub. Now, then we have streaming demo project. So streaming means like for example, we have some live data and we need to capture the live data and store it on a regularly basis. So for a real-time streaming project, we can use Kafka and we can use Spark streaming. Then we can publish a dashboard to show what we have built. Then we have data warehouse project. In data warehouse project, we will design fact table and dimension tables. Then we do SQL queries and then we will build Power BI dashboard. So this is what I feel three basic project that every individual should have if they are looking in data engineering field. Now let's move to uh, some of the soft skill and interview preparation. So data engineers are not just coders. You also need strong problem solving and communication skills. So soft skills that you must build is explain technical concept simply, write clean documentation, debug issues logically, communicate blockers early. Like if there are any blocker, you should communicate in the starting. In the interview preparation, so as I mentioned that SQL and Python is must. Also the data warehousing and pipeline concept. Now let's move forward. So 90 days learning plan. So in the first 30 days, in the first month, you should focus on SQL and Python. In SQL, you should focus on join, aggregation, window functions. In Python, you should focus on basics, Python basics, list, tuple, and so on. And you should focus on some libraries as well, like pandas and numpy. And in the month, you should have some basic understanding of database concept. Then in the second month, you should focus on data engineering skills. Build one or two end-to-end data pipelines. Learn what is ETL versus ELT concept. Also have like understanding of cloud basics, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP. Start a GitHub portfolio. You should have some project to show. Then in the third month, you should focus on the advanced concept like the data modeling, streaming basics like Kafka and Spark. You can build a data warehouse project and apply to job consistently. If you follow this roadmap, you will be job ready in 3 months. So tips to stand out, you should have a quality projects. So certification doesn't matter if you don't know the real work. So project always matter a lot. You should create your GitHub uh, repo and you should have all your projects there. So if you want to like show it to interviewer or anything, you should have that. And like as I have already mentioned, you should follow a clean code and documentation. Whatever you have written in the code, you should have clean documentation for it. So uh, thank you guys. This is Udaan Analytics helping you to learn, build, and grow. If you found this video useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment saying, I'm starting my data engineering journey. Let's begin your Udaan towards becoming a data engineer.